November 13th, 2016, the world was sleeping, but in the dark corners of the internet, a digital bomb had just exploded. A Pentagon official wakes up to 47 missed calls. His military email is now trending on Twitter, linked to the username married but curious. His security clearance, his marriage, his entire career, all in free fall. Across the country, a third-grade teacher in Phoenix vanishes overnight. A resignation letter slips silently under the principal's door. A famous reality TV star issues a public confession and disappears from the spotlight. Politicians, CEOs, actors, 412 million accounts have just been exposed. This wasn't just a data leak. This was the ultimate digital betrayal. The question isn't just how the world's largest adult website became the biggest privacy disaster in history. The real question is, why did a company, already warned by a hack, leave the door wide open for round two? This is the story of the Friend Finder network breach, and this is the Digital Sleuth. To understand the scale of the 412 million breach, we have to rewind to a small ripple that foreshadowed the tsunami. In May 2015, the company behind adult Friend Finder Networks, was hacked for the first time. They lost about 4 million accounts. That was a mere splash compared to what was coming, but it was alarming enough. The stolen 2015 database exposed emails, usernames, birth dates, and intimate details like sexual preferences. And yes, whether users were seeking extramarital affairs, Adult Friend Finder wasn't exclusively a hookup site for singles. It was a gathering place for anyone looking for no-strings-attached fun, married or not. Now, most companies facing a breach of this nature would panic. They'd install new firewalls, hire top-tier cybersecurity experts, and fundamentally change their infrastructure. Friend Finder? They issued a bland statement, "We take security seriously." And then they proceeded to slap on a digital band-aid. Those 5 words would age like milk in the Sahara. Here's the shocking truth they hid. The 2015 breach wasn't just a random hack. It was a preview. The hacker had discovered a flaw buried deep in their code, a vulnerability so basic, so elementary, that any first-year computer science student could exploit it. Yet, Friend Finder left it there, unchanged and ready to be used again. Imagine this scenario. You're married, curious one night. You create an account, you browse, you delete it the next morning. Crisis averted, right? Wrong, because here's what few of those users knew. When you clicked Delete Account, Friend Finder didn't actually delete anything. They just added a deleted1.com to your email address and called it removed. Your secrets, your preferences, recorded forever? That deletion was a lie that would eventually cost lives. Just months after Friend Finder's warning shot, their competitor, Ashley Madison, the infamous cheating site, was hit by its own devastating hack. That attack caused suicides, divorces, and international headlines. You'd think every adult site on the planet would be scrambling to upgrade their security. You'd think Friend Finder would learn something, but they didn't. They were setting the stage for what would become the largest example of a cybercrime documentary in modern history. Internal documents later revealed Friend Finder's password system was an embarrassment. Not only were they storing millions of passwords in outdated formats, but they made a decision so baffling it should be a textbook example of what not to do in cybersecurity. They converted every password to lowercase. Think of the difference. I love my wife 2016 versus I love my wife 2016. That simple change transforms a highly complex, multi-year cracking effort into one that can be solved in a matter of seconds by modern hacking tools. Why would a company deliberately weaken their own user security? The answer is tragically mundane: convenience. It simplified their help desk metrics for password retrieval, a small internal convenience that would ultimately cost them $578 million in lawsuits. By October 2016, Friend Finder had accumulated 412 million registrations, 20 years of digital secrets. Military personnel using their .mil addresses, government employees with .gov emails, your neighbor Jim, who coaches Little League, all trusting a company that couldn't even delete an account properly. The first hack was just a warning shot. Now we need to know, who was loading the cannon, and why did they wait exactly 17 months to expose them? October 18th, 2016, the countdown begins. A 20-year-old security researcher, known only by the handle Revolver, is hunting for a specific exploit, LFI, or local file inclusion. To hackers, LFI is the ultimate cheat code. A tunnel to private configuration files, the digital keys to the entire database. Revolver wasn't a typical dark web operative. He had no criminal record. He was just a kid testing defenses. Then, completely by accident, his screen flooded with configuration data that shouldn't exist. User directories, all 412 million private lives, laid bare. Most black hat hackers would stay silent, download the data, and sell it for millions on a hidden marketplace. Revolver did something unprecedented. He screenshotted the vulnerability and tweeted it directly at Adult Friend Finder. He put it out there, in public, visible to their 50,000 followers. Friend Finder's response arrived in 4 hours. Issue resolved. No customer data was compromised. They lied. The download logs would later show something impossible. Someone had already extracted the entire 412 million database at 11:49 p.m., 3 minutes before Revolver's tweet. While Revolver was tweeting warnings, someone else was watching, a notorious figure known as Peace, a name about to become brutally ironic. Peace had a combined victim count reaching 800 million from selling data stolen from LinkedIn, MySpace, and Tumblr. Peace wasn't interested in white hat ethics. He was interested in his next gold mine. The only way Peace could have acted 3 minutes before Revolver's public warning is if he was already inside, watching, waiting, and using Revolver's public discovery as the perfect cover and scapegoat. The true treasure, those 412 million accounts, was already gone. Transferred across 7 different servers, 3 countries, encrypted, and listed on a dark web forum. FriendFinder couldn't admit the true breach without admitting they lied to the public. Revolver couldn't leak what he didn't have. And Peace? He became invisible, hidden behind the chaos of 2 public figures pointing fingers at each other. November 13th, 2016, the data drops. The number 412,214,295 sinks in. That's more than the entire population of the United States. And every single account holds a secret. Within hours, the first wave of extortion emails begins. This is where the criminal element shifts from hacking to financial fraud. The hackers didn't just dump raw data. They immediately cross-referenced the leak with Facebook, LinkedIn, and public records. They knew your real name, your spouse's name, your kids' schools. The email was simple, a classic phishing attack elevated to a new level of terror. We know your username, pay 0.5 Bitcoin, or we tell your spouse. These criminals leveraged the deepest human fear, social ruin, to conduct massive-scale financial fraud. This wasn't a generic phishing link. This was a personal nuclear threat. And remember those 16 million deleted accounts? They were in there too. People who thought they'd erased their mistake 15 years ago were suddenly getting blackmailed over something they'd forgotten existed. The government noticed something terrifying. Foreign intelligence agencies now knew exactly which Pentagon employees visited adult sites, when, and from where. Some logged in from secure facilities, from deployment locations, from embassies. This wasn't just embarrassing, it was a national security nightmare. Every one of those 78,000 plus military emails became a potential blackmail target. Colonel Johnson, we know about your Adult Friend Finder account. Now about those troop movements. While the headlines focused on the salacious details, the fallout kept getting worse. Criminals created fake, check if your spouse cheated websites. Half were scams, stealing credit card data. A simple phishing and credit card fraud mechanic. The other half? They recorded who was searching the database and then blackmailed them. We know you checked if your wife cheated. Pay up, or we'll tell her you don't trust her. The scams just compounded the misery. In the 6 months following the breach, over 400,000 people suddenly changed jobs, deleted social media, or vanished. The leak created a hidden diaspora of people fleeing lives that no longer felt safe. And in February 2017, the first confirmed suicide directly linked to the breach was reported. A Pentagon contractor, destroyed by an account he created and barely used a decade prior. The true cost was measured in silence at dinner tables and suicide hotline calls that spiked 400% that week. The Friend Finder disaster, like the Ashley Madison hack before it, serves as a brutal lesson in cybersecurity protocols and the responsibility of companies that hold your sensitive data. The $3 million security upgrade was ignored for the $578 million lawsuit. This level of negligence demands vigilance from us, the users. As a dedicated digital sleuth, let me give you the essential steps to protect yourself from becoming a statistic in the next cybercrime documentary. First, let's talk prevention. Building your digital fortress. Practice data minimization. Don't give a website more data than it needs. When signing up for a risky service, use a dedicated, disposable email address that can't be easily traced back to your real identity or professional life. Then there's the power of passphrases and MFA. Stop using short passwords. Start using long, complex passphrases. And, most importantly, never reuse passwords. Use a password manager to generate and store unique, complex passwords for every single site. Also, always enable multi-factor authentication, or MFA. This is your single best defense. Even if a hacker steals your password, they can't log in without your phone. Finally, assume deleted is a lie. For any sensitive site, assume that clicking delete only means they'll hide your account, not erase your data. The only true deletion is never providing the data in the first place. Now, what if you are compromised? Let's talk recovery. If a service you use is hacked, change your password on that service immediately. Then, change it on every other service where you use that same password. Set up monitoring. Register for a free credit and identity monitoring service. Data from hacks is often used for future identity theft and financial fraud, so you need to be prepared. And if you receive an extortion or blackmail email, do not pay the Bitcoin demand. Paying only confirms you are a viable target for more scams. Immediately report the incident to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, the IC3. The key takeaway is that your personal data is no longer just yours. It is a valuable commodity for massive dark web scams and criminal operations. Every time you log in, you are trusting a company with your digital life. We can only control one side of that equation, our own diligence. FriendFinder's stock price eventually recovered. New users signed up daily, operating under the dark truth of human nature. It won't happen to me. But the price of their arrogance was paid by the teacher who vanished, the official who lost his career, and the contractor who lost his life. The hacks that exposed 412 million secrets and the 37 million before them are a stark reminder. On the internet, anonymity is a myth, and your secrets are never truly deleted. Stay vigilant, stay safe. And remember to hit that like and subscribe button for more investigations into the digital world. I'm the Digital Sleuth, and I'll see you in the next case file.